Hey guys, Steve here, singledadfitdad.com. Thanks for watching this video. Today I want to talk about something that you've most likely heard of. If you haven't, you've been under a rock because it's everywhere. It's been everywhere for a couple of years at least. It's the paleo diet. What I'm going to share today isn't anything groundbreaking. You may have heard some of this stuff before, but why it's relevant right now is because, first of all, I'm doing the paleo diet right now. And having good results. And I did it a few years ago, very strict, for a much longer period of time, and my results were phenomenal. I leaned way out, I had way more energy than I had previously. So I just want to kind of run through 10 kind of highlights, bullet points of the things that you should know about the paleo and if it's right for you. So the first thing you need to know is it eliminates some food groups. Okay, we lose dairy, we lose grains, we lose sugars, processed sugars, and then all the obvious stuff. We lose, fried foods, processed, all that refined garbage that you're used to. And it also removes legumes, which are basically, peanuts, beans, peas, lentils, those kinds of things. So first off, I'm not a big believer in removing any one food group. I think there are benefits to, whole grains, of course. Dairy is an excellent source of protein, but I think the thought process behind it is, there's some things like gluten in pasta that can create, gut issues, and there are certain hormones in dairy that can cause problems and intolerances, those types of things. But I've never had a problem with any of those things, so it doesn't bother me. But what I noticed when I did the paleo a few years ago, and I was very strict, I felt way better than I did when I was eating all that stuff. So, speaking from a personal standpoint, it works from that perspective. What you're going to be eating is meats, vegetable, fruit, oils, nuts, and seeds. So that's going to be what it fills your refrigerator and pantry. That's everything that you're going to eat falls under one of those. So, it sounds like it's okay, and it is. But one thing to notice is it's going to be pretty difficult to eat as much as you're used to eating. So most of us will sit down, on the couch. We'll have a bag of chips, pretzels, whatever. We'll snack on something, anything that is sitting in your pantry that's prepackaged. And 9 times out of 10, it's not paleo. So you're going to be cooking a lot. It's a lot of work. So, be mindful of that. I didn't actually even list that, but it is a lot of work to constantly preparing and making sure that you're eating the right foods. Okay, it can be done. I was cooking, at least an hour a day. And a lot of people don't have that kind of time. I mean, there are certain shortcuts, and there are plenty of websites and resources out there that will tell you how to make it a lot simpler. But be prepared to cook a lot. You don't need to track your calories. I've talked about this in the past. I'm a firm believer that in order for you to really understand why, let's say, you're not losing weight, you have to know exactly what you're putting into your body, right? So first we need to figure out how many calories you need to maintain your basic metabolic rate, your BMR, and then figure out how many calories you need to adjust that in order to lose weight. Okay, most people grossly either over or underestimate it. So it's really important to track calories. But in this case, because of the foods you're eliminating, there isn't the need to count your calories, which is a big bonus for a lot of people that hate tracking calories. And to be honest, I haven't met too many people that like tracking calories. So that's one of the upsides. Okay, it's very hard to overeat on this. It's essentially gluten-free, so you're pulling all the junk out there, that the pastas and things that have a lot of gluten. Again, I don't have any issues with it. A lot of people don't. Again, it's people with celiac disease or intolerances and leaky guts and those types of things. Yeah, it makes sense, but just be mindful of that it essentially is just a gluten-free diet. It's also basically a low-carb diet because all the heavy carb that you use eating the pastas, the breads, the rices that have a ton of calories, they're gone. So to get your carbs, you're going to have a couple of choices: fruits and vegetables. Okay, so if you sit down with a nice big 12-ounce steak or 8-ounce steak, whatever, what are you going to pair that with? You're probably not going to want to eat it with cantaloupe, right? You're going to want to eat some vegetables, right? Whether it's spinach or Brussels sprouts or whatever it is, you're going to be eating vegetables, and it's very, very hard to get enough carbs from vegetables, starchy vegetables, especially to get enough calories and carbs. So essentially, you know, they don't sell it as a low carb diet, but it really is. You know, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You want to be careful that you don't go into something called ketosis, where there's just too much protein in the blood and there's an absence of carbs, and then it becomes pretty dangerous. Can be toxic. So want to make sure that you're eating your share of carbs. It's just going to take a lot of work to eat enough. You're going to be eating a lot of vegetables, quite a bit of fruit. You know, if you're looking to lose fat, you know, maybe spend more time eating vegetables than fruit just because of the sugar content. But anyway, yeah, that's where you're going to be eating your carbs from. Like I mentioned before, hard to overeat. You know, I had a real tough time with it a couple of years ago. You know, I was used to eating probably 2,200 calories a day, but that was just from a whole bunch of shit. You know, I'd eat pizza, I'd eat panini sandwiches, I'd go to Panera Bread, whatever. Easy to get 2,000 plus calories eating that way, but when you take all that shit out and you're focusing on lean cuts of meat, you know, oils, yes, they have more calories, and fruits and vegetables, really tough to overeat, which is a good thing. You know, it's a positive thing. Just make sure you're eating enough. If you way undereat, again, you're going to cause another problem. You know, you're gonna really slow down your metabolism if you keep those calories too low. So make sure you're eating enough. You're going to be eating a lot of proteins, a lot of vegetables, and a lot of, you know, nuts and seeds, oils, avocados, those types of things. It's expensive. You know, going into it, before you jump into it, just understand that ideally you want to, you know, buy grass-fed and organic types of foods, which obviously are far more expensive than traditional produce and meat and whatnot. But just understand that it's not going to be cheap. And again, there are 1,000 resources out there that will show you how to do the paleo diet on a budget, and that's great. You know, I'm not going to list any of those things, but, you know, a quick Google search will show you all that you need to know. So, yeah, just be mindful. I mean, if you're used to spending 150 bucks a week on food, you know, I would probably plan on spending 250 bucks or 100, you know, or 200 bucks. But it's going to be significantly more expensive to eat really, really clean. Expect an energy drop. This happened to me the first time I did paleo. Like I said, I was eating horrible, just garbage, and I was sitting on my ass all day long in a 9-to-5 job. So, you know, I would use Snickers bars after lunch. I had 2 Red Bulls every day. I drink Dr. Peppers and Cokes and things like that, and, you know, obviously not good stuff. So I was using those things to artificially inflate my energy, and when I took all that shit out, yeah, it crashed, of course, you know, and then I pulled all that sugar out and all the chemicals and all that shit that I was eating, and my body went into shock and was wondering, you know, where's my sugar? And all I was giving it was water to drink and, you know, healthy foods. Every day I would have a spinach salad with a ton of vegetables and cranberries and walnuts and oil and vinegar, and I'd have a whole bunch of chicken or shrimp on it. And I was used to getting, you know, potato chips and chocolate chip cookies and heavy bread sandwiches. So, yeah, my energy just sucked for probably 2 weeks. You know, I was just dragging ass. But after that, I noticed a huge spike. I felt way better. So, you know, if you're trying it or if you're in the early stages of it, you know, don't give up, because your energy will suck, but it will get better. Once your body gets used to eating the good stuff and you've kind of rid your body of all the toxins and all the other processed garbage that we're so used to eating, you will feel better. It's not a diet. You know, again, I hate diets. I hate the term dieting. It's just something that implies that it's temporary. This is not supposed to be temporary, although for most people, a lot of people, it ends up being temporary. It's more of a lifestyle. You know, when I did it for, I think 3 months, and I can't remember why I stopped, but when I started reintroducing regular foods, like I remember the first time I went to McDonald's after I was on the paleo, and I had I think it was a Big Mac. It was disgusting. I mean, all I could taste was just salt, and it was nasty. And I was so used to eating, you know, fresh chicken breasts and, you know, fresh prepared foods. it was a shock. You know, it was a shock to my system. So, you know, I guess ideally, why would you stop eating this way if you feel great and it's working for you, and you're continuing to be healthy, or you're healthier than you were before? Why would you stop? I don't know. Again, for me, I don't believe in removing entire food groups permanently. I just don't. Even if you have some issues with it, you know, to me, it just doesn't make sense to completely say, oh, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to eat any more grains for the rest of my life. I think that's kind of stupid, but that's just my opinion. And the last thing here, I just put CF, which is CrossFit. It's endorsed by CrossFit, some other big shots, celebrities, and all these other people, but that means nothing. Okay, just because all these organizations and people have jumped on the bandwagon for paleo doesn't mean that it's right, it's great, it's good, anything like that. It's up to you. If it works for you, great. If you think it's ridiculous, don't try it. You know, me personally, I would suggest if you're looking to lean out and increase your energy, I would say give it a shot. I mean, it's not going to hurt you, even in the short term. It's not going to hurt you. You're going to just get rid of junk food and you're replacing it with good quality foods. So there's really no downside to it. Again, see how your body reacts. Give it a few weeks, you know, 2, 3 weeks, even 4 weeks, to see how your body is adjusting. I mean, personally, I think you'll start losing body fat, and assuming you're working out and doing it the right way, you'll start seeing an increase in lean muscle tissue as well, as, you know, which we all want, right? Every person that I've ever met wants less body fat and more muscle tissue, right? So anyway, you know, that's my 2 cents on the paleo. You know, if you have any questions about my experience or what worked for me or didn't, just hit me up on email, steve@singledadfitdad.com. Thanks.